for Christ's sakes. There you go. What put me off? Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we record this, it's bonfire night. I've got a dog. She's going nuts here. She's going absolutely ballistic. Every time there's a bang outside, she's barking away. She's not happy. But anyway, guys, for those of you that are new to the channel, or if you're a regular, do us a favour. Drop a like on this stream. It will make such a difference to the channel. You wouldn't believe it. There she goes again. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon. As and when we've got any new stuff to bring you, you'll know straight away. So, we're here to discuss matters at London Stadium tomorrow. But before we get into that, ladies and gentlemen, may I just turn your attention to the small matter of Iron supporting food banks. Press the button, dude. Forge from Iron is proud to support Iron supporting food banks. They are a group of West Ham United fans and friends inspired by the work of other football fan food banks around the country. They collect food and cash donations from Newham Food Bank in Beckton, who supply 7 distribution centres in the borough, 7 days a week, and hand out several hundred 3-day emergency food packs every month to families in need. They are also working with other groups to improve conditions for vulnerable adults and children in the Newham community. They are supported in their efforts by West Ham United Football Club, the WHU Foundation, LS185, London Legacy Development Corporation, Newham Council, the Met Police, Spire London East Hospital, Expedient Security, and a large number of West Ham and football fans. You can help by making a donation to their Just Giving page. You will find the link to this in the description section of the video details in this stream. Thank you for your support. Come on, you Irons. Can you hear her?
Yeah.
I apologise, you guys watching. We'll just crack on with it, and hopefully it won't be too bad. So we're here to discuss, as I say, Premier League Matchday 14 of 38 for us. West Ham United facing Crystal Palace at the London Stadium tomorrow afternoon. Bit of a funny team, aren't they, Palace? They sort of like, they seem to, well, just looking here at their record in the Premier League this season, they've played 12, they've won 4, they've drew 4, they've lost 4. So they're consistent.
They're a nuisance is what they are, because they're one of these teams, especially now under Vieira, they don't go away.
Sort of like they're like a football version of herpes then.
Never had it.
That's not what you told me off camera.
I just want to make sure you got checked for it. I
got checked for a few things last night.
Just, no, I needed to. Where were we?
Crystal Palace.
Yes.
1-4,
Pain in the arse.
lost 4. Yes.
Pain in the arse football team, and Vieira's got playing some bloody good football, mate. It's not going to be simple. I'm confident enough in our own abilities if we show up to do, but we've got to show up to do, because if we don't, then they will take the piss out of us and we will look awful.
We've done that a few times this season, let's be completely honest.
Yeah.
So, wouldn't be the first time. But, yeah, I mean, it's a really tough one to call. I mean, I don't know if you're aware of how Leicester are getting on, but they're 1-0 up.
They are, which I'm happy about.
You're what, sorry?
I'm happy about.
Well...
Oh, I'll put a tenner on them, so I'm happy.
Yeah, but we're playing them next week.
Yeah, no, I ain't worried about that. That's next week. It's not like I've gone and put a tenner on Palace to win tomorrow, is it?
No, I know, but ideally you'd want them to be coming off the back of a defeat. And
let's make them be a wounded animal, Rob. That's a brilliant idea, yeah.
Well, what would you rather? That they go out and sort of spank Everton 5-0? What would you rather?
30 quid in my bank.
Oh, yeah, well, 30 quid in your bank is 30 quid in your bank. I can't knock you for that. It's fair, but there you go. Hi, Sahil. Hope you're well. Anyway, do you want to have a look at the team that I've cobbled together?
Can I just go back a minute?
Of course.
I haven't seen this man's name crop up for quite a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I did see Ian. You've popped me a message, but obviously I was prepping for this, so I'll respond to that message in due
Ian
course.
used to come in my old pub, Rob.
He did,
Used to
but
come
you've
in the
moved
old
a little
pub.
bit further away, didn't you?
I haven't.
Where did you move, Duke? Where did you move? What's your
We're
new
not
pub?
doing it, Robert. Behave yourself. I've got to
Oh,
get a
go
new
on,
picture. That one
go
there,
on.
that place there. It's a lovely pub. It really is a nice pub. I'll get some pictures of the inside of the pub, actually, Rob. That's what we'll do.
Maybe you need to do a video montage like I did for the Iron Sporting Food Bank.
That'd be quite nice, wouldn't it?
A little sort of like here's the games room or whatever you call it.
Yeah, no, just like I say, I haven't seen Ian's name pop up for a while, and obviously during lockdown, I used to spend a lot of time watching Ben's channel.
Yep.
I remember doing a lot of walks, and the missus shouting at me because we were walking through woods and stuff, and I had my headset in, and I'd be listening to Ben on his channel. While we were supposed to be out walking with the kids in rural countryside, so she used to tell me off. So good evening, Ian. I hope you're well.
Yeah, and that was the old gaff.
That was the old gaff.
That was the old gaff. The bull. No, it wasn't when you were there, was it?
No, it is now. It's fucking awful. And I'll tell you what, there is not a Green King pub up and down the country, Rob, that you could get me to walk into and to spend my money.
It's not a complete shithole. I mean, my son works there, in fairness.
It's a shithole.
I won't tell George. He'll be very upset.
Would do well to get out.
Oh dear, poor lad. Well, he pays the bills.
Allegedly,
you've got to do. But right, okay. Do you want to have a look at my my 11s?
Bring your 11 up, Robert. Let me have a look.
Hang on, let me just get rid of.
What are you up to?
I'm just going to get rid of that.
You're wrong buttons again, aren't you? You're getting all.
Shall I press this button? Go all these jazzy fancy things. Oh, hang on, where's he gone? Oh, he's disappeared into the green room. Are you having another beer? Oh dear.
You pressed the wrong button. You kicked me out. What are you doing?
I didn't kick you out. You kicked yourself out, you silly sod.
Hang on. Why would I do that?
I've got no.
Shut up. Anyway, right. This is Rob's lineup. He's I'll tell you what. It's very rare that he gets it right. To be honest, very rare. He ain't great. I tell you what, he was awful last night. Just quickly before we cover the teams, we went to a player event over in Romford, and I tell you what, he would not leave David Cross alone. In his ear, he was. I had a lovely
bastard.
What's the matter with you? Piss off. I had a lovely conversation with Mr. Cross and with his daughter, Kate, the England ladies cricketer. She was very, very nice, very lovely to talk to. Spoke very highly of her old man and the West Ham fans, actually, saying that she likes coming to the events with him because, just the way that we are around her old man. Very good evening, E13 events. If you follow them on Facebook or Instagram, go to one of these shows. I mean, I'll be honest, we watched Trevor Morley and Tony Gale. There it is. We watched Trevor Morley and Tony Gale go backwards and forwards last night over the allegations of a certain Mr. Bishop, and it was just absolutely hilarious. So, guys out there, get down and watch one of these shows. It was absolutely fantastic. It's actually the third one I've gone to, and they get better as the time goes on. But I do end up skint every time I come away, because I end up spending so much money. I managed to buy myself. What did I buy? There it is. It's over there. You stay in the background, Rob. I got this. It's all right. It's fine. Oh shit! I dropped it. I got myself one of these. It's a little.
He doesn't know what he's doing because I'm pressing all the buttons. But it's fine.
Just stay there. It's fine. Piss off. So I got that. It was signed by Tony and Frank. It's lovely. Rob got one, something similar. I also won an auction prize. Where is it? It ain't going to fit me, boys and girls. I ain't going to lie to you. Should have had everything lined up, Rob, shouldn't I, really, rather than just walking around my room. Oh, no, that's what Rob got. All you see is the glare because he's a bell end, but it's all right. And then I got myself, I think it still fits Tony, to be fair. It's, what age is it, Rob? It's age Oh, it's a youth large.
A very small men's, is it?
The youth large, it probably would still fit Tony Cottee, to
Probably
be fair.
would. He doesn't look a day over sort of 28, does he?
But I won that on the
Very
auction.
annoying.
It's signed, which is lovely. Not on the auction, the raffle.
She's off again. She's off again.
Oh, the missus or the dog?
No, the dog. The dog.
Sorry, I wasn't being rude. I thought you meant Tottenham. What was going on? So anyway, back to the team, Rob. What team you picked? Actually, no,
right. I tell you what.
No, I don't care. Right, so he's gone with Fabianski in goal. I'm just going to keep doing it. He's gone with Fabianski. Oh my God, he's nicked me screen. So he went with Fabianski in goal. He went with Kehrer at right back. He went with someone else left back. He went with. He's actually, yeah. So he went with yeah. There you go, Dawson. He went with Dawson, Zuma, and Cresswell in the back four. Then in his double pivot that he keeps nicking from me is Declan Rice and Thomas Souček. In the front three, he's got Benrahma, Paqueta if he's fit, only if he's fit. He's then got Bowen, and he's got. I don't care. I don't care. It's fun, isn't it? Listen, carry on. Oh, he's gone. So yeah, that's his.
Shut up. What does he know? What does he know? Now he's got the hump. I'll bring him back in. Come on, come in. Put your dummy down, for fuck's sake.
Sorry, carry on, Rob.
I got to be honest with you. I picked that team at 6:35 on Thursday. Actually, I probably picked it at 6:31. Oh God, what you're doing? What? See, you haven't got a clue, have you? You haven't got a Scooby. You don't. You're pressing these buttons for the first time in your life, and it's like, what's going on?
It's a bit of fun, now, isn't it? Oh no, that one's nice.
Do you like that one? Does that one? Yeah, but we cover up
me over there. See, that's the problem. Now I'm trying to move me over there, and it don't let me.
How about that?
No. I want to go all the way over to the left. So you're on the left and I'm on the right.
I can't
do that. That'd be really good if we could do that. What's this one do? Oh, that pisses. I don't like us. No, see, it's just Jesus. It's something different.
This is why I press the buttons. I don't. Goals long ago.
Well,
you stop pressing buttons for fuck's sake. Are you done?
I think so.
That team picked itself. Let's not kid ourselves. That team picked itself. The question mark is over Paqueta. I mean, Ian's asked, do we know if he's fit? Well, from David Moyes' comments, he's going to be in the squad. I think that's a given from what he said. Whether he starts, I don't know. But I've gone with Paqueta. But the rest of it picks itself because they were pretty much all rested against FCSB the other night. So I just think, well, why would you rest these players? It's obvious why the team that was picked on Thursday was picked, and this lot were basically left at home because none of them travelled.
Yeah, but then I think you've also got to look at the fact that he had the idea, didn't he? I mean, these guys, these lads were going to be rested. Now, rightly or wrongly, it could go absolutely. What have I done? Shit, the bed, I pressed the wrong button.
See, this is why we have our roles, and you don't do button pressing.
Oh, listen, I'm not even on. Listen, I ain't even got you on screen. I'm actually trying to download stuff off of.
You're on Pornhub again.
No, I've completed that.
Okay. What level did you get up to?
Oh, about 7,000, I think.
We'll
to be
do
honest. I'm downloading something. I want to show you something because someone's put there about Declan Rice. I actually want to show you something, Rob, because these are absolutely legendary, right? I've got to say, I'm getting a pair of football boots.
Really?
Your lace.
Oh my God!
Look at them sexy bastards.
What the fuck are you thinking?
I want a pair of Croc football boots, Rob, just because they look outstanding. Let's not mess around. They look amazing. Anyone else? Anyone else in the chat?
Hold on. Can I ask a question, Hammer
Look at them.
89? Why is Duke getting an evening? What about me?
No one likes you.
What about me? Oh, fuck it. I'll piss off then.
I like that though. I made that just for anyone who cares. I made that. That was me. Where you gone? Why are you listen? Just because people don't like you doesn't
Hammer's
mean
89. You've forgotten me. That's you know, who do you think put this
It's
together?
just because people don't like you.
In answer to his question, Hammer 89. Why is Souček in the 11? He asks. Because I think David Moyes will pick him. This is not the team that I would put out. This is not the team that I would put out because I would have Rice and Downs.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have Rice and Souček. But this is the team that I suspect that David Moyes will go with. And I think that in your heart of hearts, he's very likely to go with this team as well. And that's why Thomas Souček is there. Now, what? Can you stop pressing buttons? Jesus Christ. This is what happens.
Oh,
this is what happens.
I'm feeling very mischievous, Rob. I'm sorry.
You are. How many have you had?
I've not. This is it. I've just opened it. I'm just feeling that mood.
Terrible.
Yeah, just to cover on what Larry says there. Look, there they are. That's what he's wearing. He's got a pair of them for tomorrow.
Awful. They're
amazing.
Awful.
What are you all about? You ain't got a clue, have you?
Mate, I wouldn't wear that if you paid me.
And I take that as a compliment, Fremmer. Thank you.
Hammer 89, unless it's an absolute pasting, no. No. And that statement I do agree with. If I were picking the team, Souček would be out. In fact, if I'm being honest, on current form, I think Bowen can consider him quite lucky to be starting. I think the only reason he gets a stay of execution is because Cornet's injured. I think if Cornet's fit, he's got an awful lot more competition on that right flank because you could either put Cornet or Ben Rama there.
Yeah.
The fact that he's not available probably gives Bowen a stay of execution, but his form's been quite poor. I mean, he had a poor start, then he started to sort of make a little bit of an improvement, nothing spectacular, and then all of a sudden that seems to have bottomed out. And I personally, if I was picking the team, I think I'd be trying to sort of find another way, maybe even putting Pablo Fornals on the right wing, maybe, but I don't think that that's going to happen. Oh, can you stop?
No, but look at them, Rob. They are so sexy.
They're awful.
Amazing.
What you?
And
do,
they're in relaxed mode at the minute. When you fold that Crocs bit to the back, that's when they go into sport mode.
Do you have to? Was it Trevor Morley
that said that? That's when it goes into sport mode. That's off-road sport mode, that one. And then when you wear them like that, that's a little bit more relaxed.
Because Trevor Morley had the story. Don't tempt fate, Sharky. Don't tempt fate. Don't tempt fate. Did you? Because it was Trevor Morley that had the story about the sitting in the bath of hot water with a pair of new football boots, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to for those that weren't there? Do you want to share that story?
I know. I want to save it for people in case he comes on, and we'll try and encourage him.
I forgive you, Hammer 89. It wasn't that he didn't like me, so get fucked.
It's been rude, isn't it?
I got a good evening, so there you go.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, listen. I just want to point out, he's not going to be so happy when Heung-min Son, once he's had his face reconstructed and comes back looking like the Phantom of the Opera, and Harry Kane goes around dribbling like Peter Beardsley used to because he can't close his mouth. But he don't score until Heung-min Son's back. Or if he does,
he's not had a great season.
But anyway, yeah, carry on.
But yeah, like I say, I think that team picked itself the moment that David Moyes picked the team on Thursday.
Yeah,
I think possibly the only thing that he might spring a surprise, as I say, maybe he might, on the basis of the performance the other day, put in Pablo Fornals and put him on the right and Ben Rama left, or maybe even the other way round. Personally, I'd not be averse to that. I'd probably turn around and say, on the left, Pablo Fornals, on the right, Saeed Ben Rama. I wouldn't have a problem with that. But I don't think he's going to do it. Like I say, I stress, this is not the team I would pick. This is the team that I think David Moyes is going to pick.
Yeah, but that's what we do this for, isn't it? It's what Moyes. It's them Crocs are coloured like sick.
I agree with him.
If I saw you wearing those, Duke, I don't know you where is Broadmoor. It's true. I'd wear them though. I would. I'd just for a piss take. I would wear them.
Just before we go on to the Palace team, did you want to share with the class the story that Trevor Morley told about sitting in the bath?
We'll save it because we went to this player event last night, guys. Trevor Morley was there. Rob turned a bit.
He was brilliant.
Rob turned a bit Ian Bishopy and started asking him for his phone number. So if you're watching,
well, I got it.
And Trevor, if you're watching, you start getting them dodgy text messages, just know they're coming from Rob. They're not from me. All right.
I've been asked a direct question.
Knock yourself out then. You go on.
I'm not going to dodge it. Right. My 11 would be Areola in goal.
Yep.
Ashby at right back. Cresswell at left back. Aguerd as the left centre back with Zuma on the right. Declan Rice with the captain's armband with Flynn Downs.
Wally Downs, yep.
Ben Rama left. No, actually, no. I would probably go. I'd go for Paqueta as the 10 if he's fit, obviously. Let's say he is. I would have Ben Rama on the right, Pablo Fornals on the left, and Skamaka as the 9. Or, alternatively, if I felt maybe a little bit more bold, Ben Rama on the right and Antonio on the left, with obviously Bowen and Fornals on the bench. And if the game was decided by around about the 80th minute, so within the last 10 minutes, so say we're 3-0 or 3-0 down.
Go on.
No, I would bring on at least one youth player. At least like I say, me picking the team, I wouldn't have 2 goalkeepers.
No.
Ever. I would have at least one youth player on the bench, possibly 2. And I would look that if the result was done by 80 minutes, so we're 3-0 up or 3-0 down, and the game's gone one way or the other, I would be looking to get at least one of those youth players on. Whether that's Ollie Scars, whether that's Divine Mabama, I would look to. Do you know what, Larry? The reason why I've omitted, this is my pick on the 11, the reason why I've omitted him, I don't think he had a great game last week. And I've been mightily impressed by Aguerd. I know the standard of opposition he's had hasn't been brilliant, but I have been impressed on the basis of what I've seen. Zuma, I thought, had a cracking game against Manchester United. So, on balance, that's why I would go with Zuma alongside Aguerd. What would be your 11, though, Duke?
I'll be honest with you. I'm not too far from yours, I don't think. Although, actually, saying that, the 2 changes that I would make there would be Downs for Souček, or 3 changes. Downs for Souček.
Yep.
Zuma over and Aguerd for Dawson and Areola. I wouldn't dick around with the front 4. I'd keep Bowen there because listen, he ain't going to the World Cup, so it ain't going to matter. As far as I'm concerned, he ain't going. He hasn't been good enough. So why not just leave him there and hopefully something clicks.
Hopefully no one's bones.
Well, not his anyway.
No, absolutely.
And tell Livy if she wants a pair of them football boots, I'll buy them for her.
Rightio. Just before we go on to...
As long as they're not more than 20 quid.
Just before we go on to the Palace 11, I don't know whether anyone's seen this on our... or not. Well, it was actually off of my Twitter page, which is at Mr. Robert Gates. There's a couple of polls that I've put out, and I did retweet it onto @ForgeTalk, and I've asked people to sort of retweet it and whatever. And there's still time for you guys watching to get involved. 16 hours left on these polls, pretty much. And I've asked a couple of questions regarding choices for the game tomorrow, actually. It's quite interesting. Do you want to hear what the results are so far?
Go for it, gorgeous.
Well, goalkeeper, I gave the choice of, there's only really two to choose from. Let's be completely honest. It's either Fabianski or Areola. Well, Areola at the minute has got 75% of the votes, but he won't start because he started the other night. So centre-back pairings, I gave the choices of Zuma and Dawson, Ogbonna and Dawson, Aguerd and Zuma, Aguerd and Dawson. And so far, Aguerd and Zuma is 54.5%, with the next best option being Zuma and Dawson at 36.4%. Then we go to right back. My choice of Harrison Ashby is only on 11.6%, sadly, but he's ahead of Ben Johnson, who's on 9.3%. Kufau's on 11.
Ben Johnson.
Sorry?
You're ahead of Ben Johnson to start tomorrow.
Probably. Kufau's also on 11.6%, but racing away with it is Tilo Kehrer at 67.4%.
Yeah.
Then we go, the choice of left back was Cresswell, Emerson, Johnson, or Scarles. Scarles is ahead of Johnson there because Johnson hasn't got a single vote and Ollie Scarles is on 3.2%. But it's really between Emerson and Cresswell. Well, Emerson's on 25.8% and Cresswell's racing away with that 71%. Then we move to the defensive midfield unit, and the choices were Rice and Souček, Rice and Downs, Rice and Coventry, Rice and Lanzini. I did think about putting Rice and Fornals, but anyway. Nobody has voted for Rice Coventry, Rice Lanzini's partnership as a choice. Rice Souček is on 20.5%, so you can work it out. Rice and Downs is on 79.5%. But that's not going to be the double pivot that's playing tomorrow, I fear. Then we move to number 10. The voters have gone overwhelmingly for Paqueta at 91.2%. The other choices being... Was that?
I said, and so they should.
If he's fit, absolutely. Fornals is on 5.9%, with Ben Rama on 2.9%, and nobody's voted for Happy Amaret's favourite. Then we move to right wing. The choices were Bowen, Ben Rama, or Fornals, and Fornals got 2.6%. Ben Rama's on 7.9%, and Bowen, surprisingly, in my opinion, is on 89.5%. I think it'd been quite interesting if the fourth option was Cornet, how that vote might have gone. But then we go to left wing. At the minute, the choices are Benrahma, Fornals, Scarles, and Antonio. Well, Benrahma's on 76.9, Fornals on 7.7, Scarles is on 5.1, and Antonio's on 10.3. So at the minute, Benrahma's racing away with that. And you probably won't be surprised to hear that the striker choice was between Antonio, Scamacca, Bowen, and Mubama. Well, Mubama hasn't got a vote. Bowen's on 2.3%, as is Antonio. So on 95.5%, the vote is for Scamacca. So there you go. And if let's have a little look here on the comments. We've got Kent Amers' choice. And why don't the rest of you get involved in this? He's gone Areola, Aguerd, Zuma, Ogbonna, Bowen, Rice, Thomas Souček, Benny, Lucas, Scamacca, Antonio. So I'm taking what's that? Is that a 3-5-2? That looks like to me.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not bad. Well, we'll see how that vote plays out. As I say, it's another 16 hours. So you guys that are watching, if you want to dive in there, as I say, my Twitter handle is at Mr. Robert Gates, or you can go onto the Forged Talk page as well. Either or, you'll find it on there. So it'd just be interesting to see how it ends up. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not gonna mean an awful lot, is it? But because none of us are picking the team, sadly. Anyway, that is what I suspect will be the Palace lineup tomorrow. So as you can see there, you've got Vicente Guaita, a back four of Tyrick Mitchell left, Joel Ward right, with Guehi and Anderson as the centre-back pairing. Then we've got the midfield three, I suspect, will be Eze, which is obviously someone that David Moyes, we know, rates quite highly. Doucouré and Schlupp as the midfield trio. And then we move forward and we've got Elise on the left, we've got Ayew on the right, and I suspect that the striker will be Wilfried Zaha. So where does the danger come from? I think it's probably a fairly obvious question to ask, but
there's no one, Rob, there that stands out
Very good choice.
and makes me go, shit. Zaha's just a pain in the ass.
Yep.
And certainly not as good as he thinks he is. And certainly not as good as the Palace fans rate him,
Cheers, Ken.
for me. Listen, we all know, we've all run the comparisons, we've all spoken about it for the last 2 years. I actually would have preferred him, but that's neither here nor there. I'll be a hater next, don't worry about it.
What do you mean next? You already are.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, he'll go down at every opportunity. The slightest of nudges, the slightest of touches, he'll throw himself to the ground. He'll be looking for free kicks in and around, which Eze will be lining up, obviously, to take. It's a worry. I actually think we need to pick a formation that could look to counteract the likes of Eze and Zaha, to be fair.
Do you know what I'd like to see us try? Whether it's tomorrow or not, just saying about formations, I would like to see us try 4-3-3. A proper 4-3-3.
Yep.
Not basically a bastardized version of a 4-5-1, which is what we seem to play when we play 4-3-3.
Narrow up the top. The two wider players in closer to Skamaka. So he's got people playing off of him.
Nathan Agard. he knows he's getting the name wrong and he still does it. And yet, what was it? A couple of weeks ago, someone in a press conference called him Moisey and he didn't like it. It's like, you're calling this is a player you've tracked for a fucking year and you still can't get his name right.
He's an absolute pleb, but I love him for it. You and I are sitting in the car on the way to the meet, Rob, yesterday, and just absolutely pissing ourselves in the car because he did it again. Twice.
Isn't it? Yeah. Nathan Agard. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. Honestly. How hard can it be? It's 5 letters, Dave. Naef.
Yeah.
Naef, yeah? It ends with an S. How the hell can you go Nathan? Nathan ends with an N. It just winds me up. It's just like, it's rude, I think, to be quite honest. You know, I've had people get my name wrong, and I correct them once and say, no, my name's Rob. If they continue to do it, then I think you're taking the fucking piss here. My name's clearly not Nigel. You're not listening. What's up with you? Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I have a feeling he knows, Rob. Let's not mess around. I have a feeling he knows exactly what he's doing.
Do you think it's
I find it quite amusing.
You don't think it's like, what was it? Joe Kinnear. Did you ever hear that interview he did on TalkSport where you had Johan Kebab and all that? Sani Annie Modi.
Why are you joking there? Why can't you joke here?
How do you mean?
Well, you said you're joking here. Why can't you joke in there?
No, Joe Kinnear. Wanker. Such an ass.
I'm in a good mood, Rob.
Yeah.
I'm in a good mood. I had a really good night last night in your company. I've had a good day at work. Yeah, I'm just in a good mood, mate. And I'm
got your end away
for tomorrow. Huh?
You got your end away as well?
No,
Charles Insomnia, yes.
Car, remember?
Say that again.
You kept telling me no in the car.
I did. Well,
yeah.
You didn't bring any KY. So what can I say?
Now,
you are a wrong un. Absolute wrong un. Shall we move on?
Okay, go on.
I'll tell you where I see the danger coming from. There's 3 players that I'm looking at and going, they're going to be dangerous. I'm going Eze, Olise, and Zaha. I think that trio could do an awful lot of damage. I mean, coming down that side on their left, our right. Like I say, I would like to see Ashby. I don't think in a million years he's going to play, if I'm being brutally honest. As I say, I think it will be Kehrer. Now, Kehrer, listen, he's had moments in Claret and Blue where you look and go, oh, wow, that's a good player. But Yeah, don't, please don't. You know, I mean, we had stories from Trevor Morley that was enough. Where was I? Yeah, I mean, look, he's a £10 million player. Again, you sort of like you think, okay, for a £10 million player, he actually looks decent value for money. And don't forget, he can play right back, he can play right or left centre back. I think he can also play left back as well, a push, and he can play defensive mid. So he's got a lot of versatility. I get it, but he does like to. He doesn't have an awful lot of positional discipline. Do you know what I mean? He does go wandering out, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, he gets caught out. The goal against Manchester United, he got caught, didn't he? And
Yeah.
Rashford got above him, and he had no chance with that one.
Yeah. Again,
No, he didn't.
We're talking about on the channel the other day, weren't we? Wan-Bissaka, and again, he's another player that is out of position so often that he has to use his pace to get back and make these challenges that
Yeah.
everyone raves about. Yeah, but he was already out of position. Like that's the key component of this. If he wasn't out of position, it wouldn't have to be a fucking amazing tackle. Yeah, and Kera has that in his locker. He has a mistake every game in his locker, and it worries me.
Yeah, same. Wow. We'll see what unfolds tomorrow at London Stadium. That, ladies and gentlemen, is our Premier League form as well as Crystal Palace's, and also included is our form in all competitions, so including the Conference
Very
League.
similar, Rob, isn't it?
Very, very similar. I mean, marginally. I mean, what's that? It's exactly the same, actually.
Yeah.
It's 3 wins, 2 defeats, and a draw as far as the Premier League is concerned. Obviously, our form in all competitions is 3 wins, 2 defeats. Oh, that's exactly the same as well. So, yeah, no difference on any level as far as that's concerned. So I don't think you can infer anything from that, as far as that's concerned. That's our historical record. Do you know what I thought when I saw that? I thought, when you consider that we've been in existence since 1895, I couldn't tell you when Palace came into being, but that's quite a low number, isn't it?
I would have thought we played them significantly more. But let's not mess around. This is a team that I grew up watching do really well in the FA Cup. So I remember Ian Wright and Mark Bright. These guys.
Remember who got the winner in the semi-final?
Huh?
Do you remember who got the winner in the semi-final against Liverpool? It was Pards, yeah.
Yeah. They've had a lot more, if you want, better cup run success than we have since the 80s. Like you could say, I'm talking domestic. Kate. It's all right, my lovely. I'm talking domestic cup run. Vieira's got on playing some good football, Rob, and I was talking with people earlier in the pub, and I actually think they look really good. I know, Fremmer there saying that he thinks they've looked bang average. I don't think they have. I actually think they're going quietly under the radar with what they are actually doing in a very similar way to what Eddie Howe did at Newcastle. You know what I mean? It's that. Yeah. I've got a couple of Geordies that come in the pub, and I was talking to them this afternoon, and we were having a conversation about, obviously, the way Newcastle are playing at the minute. And I said, there's another team and another former player that are kind of doing the same sort of thing, and it's Vieira at Palace. He's not ridiculously gone and overspent or anything else. What he's done is he's actually got the teams he's got, and the team he's got, the players he's got, and he's actually starting to get them working together, playing well together, and I think they're going to do well this season. I really do.
Kent did the research for me. 1861. So they're older than us. When I say older than us, I'm not talking you or me. I'm talking West Ham.
Oh no, they're definitely older than me.
I knew that was coming. Such a prick, honestly. And if you want to know the form between the two teams over the last 10 fixtures, there it is. We've got the upper hand there. We got 3 wins. They've got 2 defeats. and then the rest are draw. So it's something.
Very close, isn't it?
Yeah, it's something you can't really sort of look at and go, well, we've got the Indian sign over them. Yes, we've got an advantage in that column, but it's really insignificant, to be honest. So where's the game won and lost tomorrow then, old chap?
For me, it depends on how much success Eze has in the middle of the park.
I think I was there. Hammer 89 saying Sellers Park, we beat Wimbledon and Paul Kitson scored. Do you know, I've got a funny feeling I might have been there that day. Rings a bell.
Anyway,
Sorry.
Yeah, it depends on Eze having what kind of luck he gets in the middle of the park. It depends on how many times the man Zaha rolls around the pitch and throws himself on the ground. But it also depends on the sort of game that Bowen and Benny have on the flanks. If Benrahma can do the basics, and I've been really impressed with him over the last few weeks, Rob. I'm not going to say I haven't, and he has impressed me. But if he can do the basics, when I say basics, I'm going to point to Ollie Scholes in midweek with those balls in that corridor of uncertainty, in that gap between the defender and the keeper, making one or the other have to make a decision. And for the likes of Skamaka, Bowen at the far post, it's got to be that good a delivery. We saw a 16-year-old do it on 2 or 3 occasions on Thursday. I want to see Benny producing something similar. Sod the runs and the trying to beat the man. If that ball comes out to you and you've got the opportunity of an early cross and swing it into that corridor, then do so. Because I tell you what, that's where Skamaka can thrive, on that sort of delivery. That for me is where the interesting part comes. Obviously, if they do take the game to us, and the likes of Zaha taking on Zuma. If Zuma's got a bit of an injury, he looked knackered against United. I wouldn't say he looked like he was limping, but he did look knackered. But if if that limp comes back, that'll be where the target. That'll be where they targeting that weakness. I'd love to see Agard and Zuma play, because I just think Agard looks so comfortable, so confident on the ball. He's not harried, he doesn't rush, and he can pick a pass, Rob. You asked where the game's going to be won and lost. I'd say it's between Eze and Rice and Downs or Souček in the middle there. It's between Zaha and our back line, but it's also comes down to Bowen and Benrahma on those sides. It just depends on who has the more success against their opposite number.
Fair. And we've got your favourite linesman on duty tomorrow.
Oh, Constantine! Hello, my lovely Hatzidikis.
Yes, that's the one. Paul Tierney's the guy with the whistle. Konstantin Hatzidikis and Neil Davies are flag waving. The guy that's putting the board up and down and getting berated by the managers is John Brooks. The VAR is Michael Salisbury, and his assistant moron. VAR is Derek Eaton.
If I can,
of course you can.
I want to point out something that obviously Tony Cotty mentioned last night, Rob, about VAR.
The legendary
TC. Really nice guy, and also agreed to come back on the channel, guys, maybe later in the season. So do keep an eye out for that. Friend of the channel, Tony Cotty.
I'd like to call him that.
What was that?
I think we can refer to him as friend of the channel.
I think we can. I think I could. I'll refer to him as a pal of mine.
Going round there for dinner, are you?
He doesn't know it yet. I'm just going to turn up. He actually said to keep an eye out on the new technology that they're going to be using in the World Cup in a couple
Yep.
of weeks, guys, because he says it's supposed to make the decisions quicker. It's supposed to be a smoother basis of technology, and if it works, it may well be implemented in the top leagues over the coming season. So keep an eye out on how the VAR goes during the World Cup. I think that's probably the only reason I watched the World Cup this year.
I think it's a
It's just-
semi-automated offside sort of thing, isn't
Yeah.
it? I've got no idea how it's going to be
I
utilised or
think
what.
they start. I think they're going to be. I think they've tested some of it already, and that's that 3D mapping that they've been using in the Champions League. And then
Okay.
it shows you the 3D line of what bit of the shoulders poking through the window, if you will.
Okay.
This bloody sheet, and if there's something that comes through that, then it's offside. And it's supposed to make it quicker. There's not supposed to be these 3 or 4 minute kind of delays, which
Yeah.
you know.
Do you know the other thing about yesterday? Just before we go on and do our score predictions,
Yeah.
and you guys in the live chat pile them in, give us your score predictions. But the interesting one I thought was when Tony Gale was saying, because obviously Tony Gale works for Sky Sports and
Yes.
the Premier League doing commentary. He's usually a co-commentator. And I didn't realise this until last night, but they actually, on commentary, in their earpiece, they can hear the conversation between referee and VAR. I was astonished. I was like, really? And the sad part about it is we didn't get a chance to speak directly to Tony.
No, he had to shoot
didn't
off,
he?
didn't he? There was something going on personally for him that he had to go deal with. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But he turned round and he said, honestly, you would not believe some of the conversations that go on between referee and VAR. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I'm sitting there going, oh, I would love to know. I would so love someone to leak out the Premier League referee VAR tapes. Coming soon to the Sun.
I would actually prefer, Rob, if I'm honest, to someone to leak the frequency of of them, so we can, like a police scanner radio. Let's try and get one where they've got that, so we can scan in on the frequency for that, and all have a listen. That would actually be quite.
He's taking his legs out from under him. Yeah, but it's at the Cop end at Anfield. You can't give a penalty against Liverpool. Move on. Nothing to see here. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'd love that. Leicester 1-2-0. I'll just triple my money. That's always nice.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to the rugby, and I've the commentary. Obviously, what you watch on the telly, you hear the conversations between the TMO, as they call it, and the referee on the pitch.
Yeah.
And as I've always said, listen, there are some decisions that are not black and white. There are some decisions that a referee has to make where it is open to interpretation. It's subjective, and people can look at it and go, well, I don't agree with that. Well, look, in life, you're not going to agree with every decision that's made by people. That's life, but they have to be made. Now, if you can at least hear the conversation between, in football's case, the referee and the VAR, you still might not agree with it. That, again, that's life. But at least you've got some sort of idea of the process of how the decision was made and how it arrived at. That's all I ask for. All this bullshit about, oh, but kids at home are going to hear the swearing and all the rest of it. Listen, the kids at home probably hear the swearing anyway, so it really isn't a big deal in the year 2022, nearly 2023. I've got to be honest with you. I think it's a little bit of a lame excuse, but you can switch microphones off, you can switch microphones on. Listen, as far as I'm concerned, if the referee and the VAR need to have a conversation, then referee should withdraw to an area of the pitch where he's not near any players, where he's not near any managers, coaches barking out, and it should literally be, and if someone does try and come in, it should literally be, you need to fuck off now, or I am going to issue you a yellow card. What do you want? And they go away. And then at that point, they can switch the microphone on. You can hear the conversation at home or in the stadium or whatever.
Yeah.
And like I say, even at the end, when the decision is made, goal, no goal, offside, not offside, whatever the situation
is. Why? Yeah.
you've heard the conversation that's gone back and forth. And like I say, even if you go at the end of it, I don't agree with that. You've at least got some context and some reasoning as to how that decision was arrived at.
How they
And
got
that's the
there,
thing
yeah.
I hate, is the not knowing. So,
Yeah, agreed.
what's this? Ian's come back. He's gone, boy, my not so friendly neighbour has decided to have a firework display. Well, forgive me, but was it Temple Hill you live, isn't it, Ian? I mean, yeah, some really inconsiderate neighbours around there, I know, because I've got family that live around there, so, or used to. Well, no, they still do.
Family. I've got a family around there as well.
Probably is.
Probably my sister.
Yeah. Listen, I've got a dog, mate. I've got a French bulldog, and she's absolutely going mental. You know, hear a bang outside, and she's barking away. I mean, you'll say you're probably hearing it.
I've got two kittens hiding under the front room table at the moment in a box. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what I've always thought weird? Right. This is us sort of like dumping the script just for 5 minutes, which we always do.
This is what we do. Carry on.
I always find it quite weird. And you guys at home, if you want to get involved in this before we go on to the score predictions, which I said we would do about 5 minutes ago, I do find it quite weird that in this country we celebrate fireworks night, which, when you stop and think about it, is essentially a failed terrorist plot.
Basically,
it's a bit like, do you remember we had the terrorist attacks in London, 7/7, and then a few days later or a week later or whatever, there was another group of terrorists that tried a similar thing and failed. Now, could you imagine in 200 years or 100 years or whatever that they celebrate that? That doesn't make sense. I don't know.
Oh, they're just idiots, mate. No, that's all it is.
Yeah.
Well, any excuse to be dicks, essentially.
Fair enough. But there you go. Saying you don't want your kids to hear swearing. Don't take them to football. Yeah, I mean, don't take them to football. Take them off the internet. Don't let them watch films. Don't let them, listen, they're going to hear swearing. I'm sorry.
Part and parcel of an everyday life, isn't it? Yeah.
You know, listen, I swear, as you hear me slip out certain little curse words sometimes, and I do try and keep a lid on it. I'm a lot more potty mouthed in, out there. I try to keep it on it because I don't want this to just be sort of like effing and jeffing, and people get quite turned off by it and say, "Oh, did you just a couple of foul mouthed sort of idiots,
hooligans?"
Nah. So, but swearing's just part and parcel of life, and like I say, if you go to a football stadium, you're going to hear it. Because there are certain chants where there is a swear word in the chant. You can't avoid it. The referee's not a very nice person. Doesn't work.
No, I was going to say, I don't like that one.
No, I don't think that one's going to sort of catch on somehow. But there you go. Right, okay. Let's do, and I'm going to press the button, score prediction. Right, okay, Duke. You got to put your head on the chopping board. You've got to look at your crystal ball. What's the score going to be?
3-1.
Wow, you're confident.
I just like a 3-1, Rob. I'm going to get it right one day.
Are you ever going to deviate?
No, I'm going to get it right one day. No, I am confident. I think we can go out. I think we can win 3-1 on Sunday. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I can see us going 1-0 up, maybe 2-0 up. They get the one back. We go and get the third as they come forward. Yeah.
I'm not quite as confident. I don't know why. I don't know why. No, that's unfair. That's unfair. But I just don't know. I mean, it's a London derby. Palace, they can be a funny team. They really can.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope that you're right. And I assume you meant 3-1 to the home team and not 3-1 to the away team.
Yeah, no, 3-1 West Ham, mate. Yeah.
I see it being a 1-1 draw.
Oh, really?
I do. I don't see this being... I don't know why. I see this game being quite bitty. I see this game being quite an arm wrestle. Do you know what I mean? I don't think this is going to be a sort of spectacle. I just see this is going to be... I mean, let's be honest. As far as our general play is concerned, first halves have not been pretty, by and large. No. Let's be completely honest. And I take on board what Hammer 89 said earlier about we need to make sure we don't get a slow start, because if we do, we could be 2-0 down. I mean, I got to be honest with you. There's one area of the pitch that I'm quite jealous of Crystal Palace at, and that's their forward line. Because you look, the three that I had up top earlier was Jordan Ayew, Wilfred Zaha, and Michael Olise. Now, I'm not saying they're world beaters. But they do their job. They're quite effective. They've also got two other guys that I didn't have on that graphic, like Mateta, like Odson Edouard. So they've got a few guys that they can choose where they can rest and rotate, and they can sort of bring different people in. They've essentially got I think at least 5 forward players that I've just named there that they can sort of like switch around and do whatever with. What have we got? We've got Antonio and Scamacca, maybe Bowen. Divin Mbama, listen, he's one for the future. Not right now in the Premier League. Not as a starting player, not as a regular. Maybe in a season or two's time. But our forward line compared to theirs, I do feel quite inferior. Like I say, I'm not saying they're well beaters, but yeah. But I'm going 1-1. I hope I'm proved wrong. I hope, Kate, you're right, or Duke is right. But Ian's also thinking a draw. He's gone for a Desmond, a 2-2. And I will get this. Oh, Sharky's gone 2-0. There you go. I'll share this with the class as well. Just bear with, because if anybody doesn't know where we are at, there we go. That's the Premier League table. Now, disappointing, I think, is fair to say. Hang on, let me get rid of that. Disappointing that we're 13 games in, and there we are in 14th, minus goal difference. I know that we've probably been spoiled by the last 2 seasons. Let's be completely honest. That probably is what's happened here. But Palace are there above us, and they've actually got, if you notice, they've actually got a game in hand on us. So if this goes pear-shaped, well, they're going to move to 19 points. We're down on 14, and they've still got a game in hand on us. Yeah. Now, before a ball was kicked this season, if you'd have turned around to me and said, after we played our 14th match, that there's going to be a gap between West Ham United and Crystal Palace of 5 points, and Palace could stretch that out to 8 points if they won their game in hand, I'd look at you and go, you were nuts.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
But
oh,
yeah, I know. I've got a winner. Is that Stewie? Is that friend of the channel, Paul Stewart, that comes in my pub?
Paul Stewart. Not that Paul Stewart.
Is that Paul that comes in my pub?
I think it might be.
I hope so. Listen, tomorrow will be what tomorrow will be, Robert, and we just have to hope that it goes in our favour.
Yeah, fair enough. Any final thoughts before we wrap it up, matey?
You should always wrap it up.
Depends. Some people just try other techniques. I don't know.
So I was just thinking other techniques. I was thinking maybe a Monster Munch wrapper with an elastic band around the end.
I was thinking some people might just sort of pull out.
No, you can't trust yourself. What are we doing?
I've got no idea.
Can we leave it alone?
No.
I can see the shadow. So it's your bottle of water. I thought that was someone as a shadow in the background of your green screen. It is the one and the same.
It is, yeah.
Welcome, my man. And we had a new sign up yesterday, Rob, didn't we?
We did, but we lost a sub. Did you notice? We went from 1378 to 1377.
He realised we're a pair of clowns.
Well, it might not have been him necessarily that left.
But no, someone realised.
Duke was. We was at the player event yesterday, and the lads on stage were saying their thing, and Duke was stood to my left, and I could hear him chatting to someone who was hovering around, and I'm very sorry I didn't catch his name, so I do apologise.
No, yeah.
But Duke was he was sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Pleading, badgering, pestering. him to subscribe to the
I
channel.
literally took his phone and typed in Fortune Mile on YouTube and then subscribed and touched the bell. Not his bell, the bell. Yeah.
The bell on YouTube, not
Yeah.
bell end. But just sort of like that comment there from Hammerhead, we won't finish higher than 10th. To be honest, most seasons you'd say that 10th ain't bad. But as I say, because we've had a 6th, a 7th, and a semi-final in Europe thrown into the mix, 10th you sort of look at now and go, oh, no. Especially with £180 million investment in transfers in the summer. But
10th and win the Conference League, you can all
that I'd take.
Pope pipe and smoke it. I would take that all day long.
One other little thing before we do knock it on head. Again, I've mentioned a few little polls that I put up. Just again, to bring this to your attention, if you guys are watching and you haven't gone, as I say, it's on my personal Twitter page of @Mr. Robert Gates, but it is retweeted onto @ForgeTalk. I've also asked 2 other questions, and that being how many points are a minimum requirement against both Palace and Leicester. 6, 4, 3, and 2 are the options. Well, not surprisingly, no one's gone 3 or 2. It's between 6 and 4. Well, 58.3% reckon we've got to get maximum points from the 2 matches, and 41.7% of voters have gone 4 points. There is still 15 hours left as I speak. What say you, Duke? Are you happy? Would you be happy with a draw and a win in these next 2 league fixtures, or do you think nothing less than 2 wins?
I think we need 2 wins, but I would personally be happy with 4 points personally. But I do think we need 6.
Fair enough. Duke's, hello. What's this about?
Probably wrapping it up. Yes.
No, that's the one at the south of France, Paul. You're going to have to jump on the Eurostar because obviously it's not on Sky or BT, so it can't be shown legally in this country, of course. There you go. But Hammerhead says 6 is what's needed. Well, go on to my Twitter if you're on Twitter. Either go on to @Mr. Robert Gates or you can go @ForgeTalk, one or the other. You can find all the polls that I've got running there. Have a vote. Get your voice added. And same to you, Larry and Peter and Kate. If anyone hasn't already done it, get involved in that. The other question that I asked just before we disappear, I've also asked the question, should at least one of Scarles or Mubama be in the match squad versus Palace? 3 options you had were Scarles, Mubama, or both. And we've gone 72.7% for Scarles, 12.1% for Mubama, and 15.2% reckon both should be involved.
I thought both would have been higher, personally.
Yeah. I could have put none in, but I don't think that's fair, especially on the basis of their performance the other day. I think at least one of them should be involved. I got to be honest with you, though. The cynical bastard in me thinks, yeah, he probably won't. But there you go. Right.
Yeah,
Shall we... I'll tell you what, before we go, could you do me a favour?
Me?
Yes, you.
Yeah.
Well, because you were pressing buttons and cocking it up a little bit earlier. Could you press that button? Forged from Iron is proud to support Iron Supporting Food Banks. They are a group of West Ham United fans and friends inspired by the work of other football fan food banks around the country. They collect food and cash donations from Newham Food Bank in Beckton, who supply 7 distribution centres in the borough, 7 days a week, and hand out several hundred 3-day emergency food packs every month to families in need. They are also working with other groups to improve conditions for vulnerable adults and children in the Newham community. They are supported in their efforts by West Ham United Football Club, the WHU Foundation, LS185, London Legacy Development Corporation, Newham Council, the Met Police, Spire London East Hospital, Expedient Security, and a large number of West Ham and football fans. You can help by making a donation to their Just Giving page. You will find the link to this in the description section of the video details in this stream. Thank you for your support. Come on, you Irons. And just before we disappear, I'm just going to quickly check something, because I probably should have mentioned it a little bit earlier. We've got 14 likes, 15 likes as I speak now. There's 13 watching. Oh, well, that's probably it. Well, if there's any of you 13 that haven't done so, could you do us a favor? Could you make sure you got to go to YouTube, of course, for this? So if you're watching this on Facebook or Twitter, could you just sort of come out of there, jump over to our YouTube channel directly, and drop a like on that stream? That would be very kind of you. Make sure you're subscribed as well, and hit the bell, not Duke's bell, not my bell, because it's a very sensitive part of the body. Anyway, Duke, before I get this channel taken down with my crudeness and innuendos.
Indeed.
What are we?
Massive. Absolutely fecking massive, Roberts.
Unlike Duke's penis. Come on, you Irons.